Hey Bible lovers, I'm Tim Nichols and I'm here to bring you your Nichols Worth. Today from Resurrection Rebinds, we have the ESV Heritage. Now this was an heirloom Bible, but Neil took it to another level by putting antique brown horsehide on it and really giving it a lot of extra bells and whistles. So let's take a look. If I could define Neil's work in one word, I would call it precise. This thing is on point in every way you can imagine. The yapp is absolutely perfect. Now this is a stiff cover. This kind of reminds me of a Horween leather. And it almost seems like if you were to break it in, it would probably patina and get a little more floppy as well. But the semi-yapp looks really sharp. He got the measurements, I mean, absolutely spot on all the way around. Tool work hugs the edge of that block beautifully and perfectly. Three really nice burgundy Beresford ribbons to kind of accent that antique brown. He leaves the ribbons really long, so I cut some off. I like my ribbons to be several inches outside the block. I cut them a little shorter on smaller blocks so they don't look as wonky. But then check out the spine work. I really like this. Now one thing about this is as I've used it, it is taking that gilding off because this is a very slick surface. So it's really hard to get that gilding to stay. So if you get something like this, you may want to elect for blind stamping just so you don't have to fool with that. The tool work on the hubs look absolutely beautiful. Really excellent work. I love his new logo. It looks really sharp. So now let's take a look at some of the other extras on the inside. First of all, we have the perimeter gilt line that looks absolutely beautiful. And look how he went with those corners with that extra yapp, how he made the gilt line just kind of accent right in perfectly with that corner so that it doesn't look all wonky and messed up. Just really beautifully done. His stitch work is next level. Actually, his wife does the stitch work. And check out the pleats on those corners. Those are beautiful. Absolutely perfect pleats. Those corners are perfectly rounded. They're not all notched up and dinged up. And then his edge line work, he chooses to use like a little bit of a curved design here. And this is a lambskin burgundy liner. And this is the first time I've ever seen this done. This is a lambskin burgundy endsheet. Now what he does in order to make the endsheet work is he actually glues it to a paper endsheet, but to give it that extra touch, he gives us this endsheet covered in lambskin. Absolutely beautiful. Now one thing about Neil's Bibles is there are two choices when it comes to rebinds. That is durability, strength, and reinforced, or able to lay flat and not as reinforced. Neil goes with the construction. He goes with the strength. He goes with the reinforcement. So you're going to notice when I open this, look, that edge line is going to press forward. Now, you may think that's a problem, but he's designed it in such a way that, check this out, that's all you have to do is give it a little press, just really gentle, and then bam, it's fixed. Now you're going to have to do that several times as you open this Bible before it's fully trained, because when you close it, look, see how that's laying up? You got to press that back down. This is reinforced really strong. But then when you open it, you got that back. So just do this over and over, and eventually this thing will give in. It will give way. The leather will soften over time, and it will take that hump out of this with use. Whenever he sends a rebind, he sends like a letter with it that tells you all the instructions on how to break it in. I'm also going to put Cat Wood's video in my description on the end screen that shows you how to break in Bibles, because that'll be very useful, because your temptation is to go to the middle and start pressing on it, and that's not what you do. You start early on and you do it about every signature. So you kind of press this way and just do that all the way. But check this out. I mean, even with it being untrained, here we are in Genesis chapter 1 and it's laying flat. So that's pretty impressive for a Bible that's been so reinforced, but you are going to have to work on that edge line tab to soften that by just training it over time. Don't go pressing on it and mashing on it. That will destroy your rebind. Watch Kat's video, do it like she shows you, one signature at a time, every time you open the Bible, and I guarantee you eventually that is going to go away. So beautifully done. The overhead view on this thing is absolutely gorgeous. The stitch work is gorgeous. Every aspect of this thing is beautiful. It's really neat to see the personality of each rebinder come out as they rebind Bibles. But if you go with the horsehide, which is a stiff leather, and you go with the extra reinforcement here with the extra sheepskin, the cost is you're going to have to take some time to break in this Bible. But it's absolutely beautiful. Love the antique brown. Love everything about it. This is a good, nice, compact Bible. If you want to check out a review of the ESV Heritage, I'll go ahead and put that in the end screen as well, along with Kat's video on how to break it in. But there you have it. Keep calm. Jesus on. This is your Nichols Worth.